Well, CNN host Jack Tapper says he's predicting a rightward shift in young people.
My impression of millennials is that they are fairly, obviously there are exceptions, but they're fairly progressive. And I think Gen Z is going to be a lot more conservative. I think that just from my experience knowing Gen Z kids, my kids and their friends and whatever, I sense much more skepticism of, and I think it is a reaction to Gen Xers and millennials forcing on them progressive views in school.
Yeah, at that moment, I didn't know Jack. It's Jake Tapper. And he is not the only one pointing out a noticeable trend of Gen Z moving to the right. I mean, look at that near convention-sized event, Turning Point USA at Ole Miss. And I think the receipts are just everywhere now.
The receipts have been there for a while. Jake Tapper is always late to the game. It was lovely seeing him with my friend Nick Gillespie, who is one of the very best interviewers in all of media. And I'm glad Jake sat down with him. But again, like Biden's mental decline and fragility, he's late to the game. So what is he going to do? When other people write books about a rightward shift with Gen Z, especially male voters, he's going to, be like, oh, I guess they're skeptical. But then he tries to blame Gen X. Like, no, Jake, do not come for us. Do not come. Do not come.
And his cousin Jack, Kaylee.
I know. I like Jack. It has a ring to it. I thought that was good, Harris. There are two data points. You mentioned a ton of data points about Gen Z. Well, let me give you one from Harvard and one from Yale, okay? So these are not like right-wing data points. Harvard noted that there was a 25-point margin that Biden won Gen Z by during the 2020 election. That margin shrunk to 4 in 2024. And they say this marks the strongest showing for a Republican presidential candidate and Trump among young voters since 2008. So that's Harvard. Go over to Yale, looking at the future and the poll they have on the generic congressional ballot for 2026. Among 18 to 21-year-olds, Republicans are up by a margin of 11.7. Now, older Gen Z, it's different, but that younger cohort, to be up double digits on the generic ballot for the Republican Party, that's unheard of. And it's really thanks to President Trump.
And by older Gen Z, you mean like 27?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, my goodness, Donna.
Well, what's interesting about Trump as a candidate and seeing that shift is Trump wasn't any younger, really. So it really isn't about age with these younger generations. It's about authenticity.
Yes.
It's about providing them a goal for hope and a better future and a better economy and jobs and a president that wants to invest in a country that they live in. Who wants to be told every day everything is awful, it's gloom and doom, the other side is terrible, the police are after you? People don't want to hear that. They want to live in a society that gives them hope and that gives them a future that looks promising to them. And so it didn't have anything to do with age. It had to do with authenticity and a dream.
Wow. Donna, landed that plane closing argument. Counselor?
Yeah. I mean, I got to agree. It is authenticity, but it's also about having options. And look, young kids want to rebel. That's just in their blood. So anything that they're force-fed, they're going to resist. It is that. But the other thing is just the fact that I think we're getting, we denigrate social media a lot on the air. And it is disposable, and they can have a lot of misinformation. But there's very, very strong upsides as well. And if you bring smart kids options like they can see now, options they haven't had from the legacy media through the generations here, it isn't that hard to get them to see, well, that's option A, and I see common sense over here, as in maybe we shouldn't let in 12 million unvetted. Maybe we shouldn't be starting wars overseas and trying to be the policemen of the world. Maybe we shouldn't be taxing ourselves to death, A, B, C, D, and E, and going on. And so, as a result, I do think, along with authenticity, there's just a basic appeal to logic. This stuff just makes sense. Donald Trump, this is something we say on the Gutfeld show all the time, Donald Trump is a common sense candidate, period.
Yeah, it's interesting, Donna, Kaylee, I'm going to come back to you on something Donna just said, because it wasn't about Trump's age. It never has been. But we have tipped into a zone, at least on the left, where the messenger's going to count. I mean, they cannot run another octogenarian on the left because they're already rebelling. Yeah, and they need an authentic candidate. I don't know who that is, but the cool thing about President Trump is he's the same guy behind the scenes of the Oval Office that I saw as out in front of the cameras. There's no difference. And people are like, how dare Trump say this?
But he says it behind the scenes. He says it in front of the cameras. You know where he stands. He's not lying to you. He tells you what he's thinking.
And somehow voters don't, they didn't have your perspective as press secretary, but they see that about him.
Yep.
Right? Okay, we'll move on.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.